this thirst for being God is so strong now. And before, we talked about this in that other podcast, when there was some semblance of being guided by Scripture and, doing the right thing according to what's pleasing to God and so on, then, yeah, things were very different. And when that disappeared, then things went upside down very quickly. But it's going to collapse. I mean, the whole thing is just a guaranteed collapse.
It just seems like the world today is like, what's wrong with the world? The world is just going crazy. Or maybe I'm just more aware of it. I don't think it's just me. I think the world itself, if you compare it to 50 years ago, the world is just not moving in the, right direction. It's just things are going crazy, it feels like. And, I just wanted to hear what you say about that.
Well, anybody with any kind of connection with the world would agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who could not agree.
Yeah.
And, it's on all levels, political level, environmental level, and
Yeah.
the war level, and whatever level, scientific discovery level. Like this thing that's just appeared on the news about this artificial wombs.
Really?
You must have seen that.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're developing a facility where all the babies will be grown in artificial capsules, and it'll all be controlled by artificial intelligence.
Wow.
And you can have an app on your phone so you can watch the baby's development from the beginning of being put into this artificial womb until on and on, and they can detect any kind of abnormalities that might be developing in the child, and et cetera, et cetera. You can hear the heartbeat, you can whatever, the whole story, but it's an artificial womb. So the mother doesn't have to go through the hassle of carrying the baby in the womb, morning sickness. And if they detect some abnormality in its development, they can just abort it, just get rid of it in a moment.
The scientists always have their argument, they always have their...
And if, let's say, at the beginning of this, we'll call it pregnancy, although it's hard to call this a pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is good in the family. The husband and wife are okay. They want to have the child, but during this period of time when the child is developing, maybe they divorce. Maybe they, don't want this child anymore. So goodbye.
Just click the abort button and flush the thing out. Or what?
Yeah, they can just do whatever. I mean, it's all absolutely controlled. They can do whatever they want to do from any angle they may want to do it from. So anyway, the point is, the video I saw said that this facility will be able to produce 33,000 babies a year.
Wow.
And so the point is, I mean, all that's just the details. If they're correct, I mean, this is what has been reported. But the point is, what are people doing? They're trying to play God.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting themselves in the position of God.
Yeah.
I'm the controller. I can make the decisions about life or not life or whatever. And this never has a good result. It cannot have a good result. So you take it from that angle or any other angle where people are still trying to be the controller. That's the whole thing in the political world is everybody wants to be the controller and,
Yeah.
or controlled by those who have the ability to control every decision maker.
Yeah.
And so it's all just going in the same direction. It's the self-centered society more and more, and not any thought of what's good for society as a whole. It's what's good for me and my fulfillment of my desires and my pleasures and whatever. So it's just more and more self-centered, which is what we had a podcast on some weeks ago.
Yeah.
About the hedonistic society collapsing within 3 generations.
Yeah.
When you take God out of the picture.
Yeah.
And
that's
so with this kind of consciousness, there's no other direction for the world to go.
Yeah.
It has to go crazy because it's crazy from the beginning. In other words, if a sane person realizes the nature of life, of God, of his position and relationship to God, and how if there's harmony in connection with God's plan, then society as a whole, and of course the individuals that comprise it, will be much better off.
Yeah.
So you take that out, and there's nothing left but craziness, because that's not sanity. A sane person has intelligence, and there's nothing intelligent about any thing that's going on today.
No, and I guess there's no direction. There's no. What's the point? What's the point of doing, what they're doing? There's no higher plan. There's no higher. What's the end goal? Where do we want to go?
Each individual's end goal is to, try to fulfill his imagined, desire for fame and wealth, and ultimately the illusion of happiness, and
which is all, I can't help but thinking about when you said this about the wombs. You've seen The Matrix?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how could anyone how could a sane person, let's say you've watched Matrix and you wanna have a society like that, and where people are basically plugged into an illusion of a system where you can pretend to be happy, like just the whole, and the womb thing, man.
Yeah. And it just goes on and on, the avatar idea where you become your avatar, and they do everything, and you just sit home in a miserable little room in front of some artificial screen, and go into hell, really. It's but people think that's progress,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
So I don't know. This thirst for being God is so strong now. And before, we talked about this in that other podcast, when there was some semblance of being guided by scripture and, doing the right thing according to what's pleasing to God and so on, then, things were very different. And when that disappeared, then things went upside down very quickly. But it's going to collapse. The whole thing is just a guaranteed collapse.
Well, I guess that's
of society as it is now.
Yeah. And I guess that's good news. Like they're not going to go on like this forever. It can't. it's gonna break
No,
apart.
because
It's not
God's
gonna
still
work.
in control.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see.
God
That's
doesn't. He's not overtaken by the clever, brains of modern man. He's still in control always, and he can let it go as far as he wants and just let it implode.
But
Or whatever. That's his call.
but yeah, and someone said, which is, I mean, this is mentioned a lot in the Bhagavad Gita about the demoniac and the divine, but someone put it in this way that, there are two categories. You don't really have, all these religions. I mean, it comes down to two things. Either you're at least open to the idea of a supreme person, or, you know, you're trying to be God, basically. So either you're open or following, God, or you're trying to be God. That's the choice. Like you you accept it or you try to be God.
Yeah.
And if you don't accept it, then that's what you're trying to be. If you like that or not, like whether you like that conclusion or you think that's comfortable, I mean, I don't think everyone's wanting to be God. Like, you know, if you're listening to this podcast, you might not be thinking and sitting there and thinking that, you want to be God. But if you look at your life and your motivation for your life and the situations and the choices, then
Yeah,
yeah,
that's reality. That's what you're doing.
yeah,
So if you're in a position to promote this, to the world, whether it's a scientific position or a political position or, a fame position from whatever angle you're famous, then you're going to influence a lot of other people. And people are basically sheep. It's been described as the human race is a race of sheeple. Just go along with the herd, just follow the leader. And if everybody goes off the cliff, you just merely go off with them, And so that's normal. Like, what's it saying, Bhagavad Gita? As the great man does, the common man follows. So if the person's a truly great man and they do what they're supposed to do in connection with their leadership position and bring people to a higher level of consciousness and remind people that you're spirit, you're not matter, and this world is a temporary home, but your real home is a spiritual home with your dear spiritual friend, the Lord, etc. And then if you're a leader that is promoting this, then you're a real great leader. In the Vedic system, long ago, the kings were known as Rajarsis. And Raj means king, and Rajarsi means they had this knowledge and they, led their followers, their subjects, their citizens in a real positive direction. So their life was better by following this leader. As the great man does, the common man follows. Because let's face it, most people are common.
Yeah.
But if the so-called great man, he's not great in any way, there's no great qualification at all, but he's in a position to influence people, whether it's a president or a prime minister or whatever position he's in, the common man will follow that too.
Yeah.
And he just leads people down, 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 down. And so that's the tragedies. Now we don't have the great leaders, as the great man does, but there's no great men.
Yeah.
And we've got these so-called pseudo personalities in these positions of authority, and people are influenced by that, and that becomes trendy.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't have to be a position of political leadership. It can be anything. I mean, look how much influence the sport icons have on people. People worship. Or the rock stars, the music icons, or
like you mentioned, the scientists. I mean, really, they have a lot of power. We just had the Nobel feast here in the Nobel Prize dinner in Sweden, and they send that on TV. People are so interested in following what these scientists do at their dinner. How they eat and how they talk and what's going on. It's a big thing.
but it's a bit high priest of the modern world.
They are. I mean, isn't that I think that's a bit odd. I mean, who are these people that were
Yeah.
sitting
Who are
up
these people?
all the evening to watch someone else's life? That's kind of like someone said about social media. The problem with social media is like instead of living your own life and caring about your own life, you're just looking into and caring about someone else's life. That's all social media is about.
Yeah.
It's about sneaking into, peeking into, and judging and someone else's life.
That's right. You live your life through somebody else.
Yeah.
But you jump in, if it's talking about this social media thing, you jump in and put yourself out as a, you know, person that people should be interested in. Look what I do. So everybody's playing the
Yeah.
same fake game.
Same game. Yeah.
You know, it's just a pseudo world and nothing's real. And, you know, if you have some deep feelings or thoughts and you try to express them, then people either attack you directly or reject you or don't allow you to be heard or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you're not allowed to say the truth if it's in contradiction to the agenda they want you to believe.
Yeah.
Mhm. So that's where we're at today. And
And
if people would just recognize I'm an independent individual and I have to take care of my own life, I have to be responsible for my own life, my future, the direction I go in. But how you gonna know any of these things if we're just so caught up in the hoopla of the influencers? You know? So it's been suggested since time immemorial that you, even though no matter how busy you may be in your life, whatever it is, you step out of that busy world for 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day and just have some calm, some peace, some quiet. Leave your cell phone, leave your computer, leave all the distractions and just sit quietly and meditate on the truth. And you can say, well, I don't know what the truth is, but you can meditate on the request, we will say, from the source of all truth to please guide me, to give me direction, to give me, some insight into what I need insight into. Who am I? What should I do with my life? How can I make my life better? How can I make the world a better place? And what about death? We have to start going out of the box, as they say, and thinking about different things.
that
And
are not
that
being.
takes some fortitude. I mean, that's a real challenge.
Yeah.
And somebody can spend 15, 20 minutes every morning in meditation and prayer and contemplation and etc., then their life will be, greatly enhanced.
Yeah.
And they'll get more and more clarity.
Yeah.
And they'll be not so subject to these influences that are against everybody's well-being.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it's crazy.
That's
What?
an
Yeah.
ancient that's an ancient practice. That's nothing new here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's more critical now than ever before.
But it's
Because
just.
in ancient times, people used to spend much longer periods of time in contemplation and meditation and prayer. And now we're just saying, try to arrange 15 minutes.
Mhm.
That means you got 23 hours and 45 minutes of every day where you're not going to be doing this.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, so
That's not
you
a
can see
big.
the odds are greatly in favor of the materialistic development of consciousness. But if you'll take that 15 minutes, that'll be a great asset.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
can expand it to 20, 25, 30, And if you do this on a regular basis in a sincere way, then it becomes more attractive. And so we're always inclined to do that which is attractive to us.
Yeah, I think that's the whole key to this, because I was just going to ask, it just seems so hard to do that. And even though you know that that's what you should do, it seems just, but yeah, I guess that's the key, right? If you just try it once, if you start to get into the habit of doing it, then you will see that you will feel that that's attractive. That's something you're like longing for eventually, for that time to be able to do that, to let go of this stuff.
Yeah. And if for whatever reason you don't do it, you feel like you've lost the most important part of the day.
Yeah.
Like the day has gone by and I didn't do that. So I missed the best part of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what you start feeling. It's, and like I say, you can, become more and more accustomed to doing it longer or doing it. Maybe the length of time doesn't increase, but the depth and sincerity increases. It's more and more coming from the heart and not the mind. So quality is also, very, very important. Not just the time sitting there, but the quality of that time. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is really the solution. It's the solution. All the things about trying to change it externally, it just doesn't work because we've thrown away that which molds our consciousness in a positive way. And you throw out all of that guidance from the Lord and His words and His representatives and, et cetera, then, you got no chance.
And if you individually
Really.
throw that out, that's how it's going to be social as well. That's, a society is a collection of people. So that's what
Right.
we'll have.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's almost demanded now that you throw it out.
Mm.
And more and more they're passing laws that if you don't throw it out, then you're in violation of the law. You can be punished. And so on. So yeah, it's a not nice situation, but there's a solution. This is the point.
Mm.
This is not the first time the world has been going in the wrong direction. And it will not be the last time. So don't throw up your hands and despair and say there's no solution. There is a solution, and it's an individual solution. Like you said, a society is a collection of individuals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like what you said before as well, that you have to realize that you individually have to do this. It reminds me about this quote from one of our spiritual teachers, that the greatest threat to mankind is this team spirit.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You want to be part of the team. You want to basically, well, today in society, I guess as well, since we're influenced easily, we want to just fit in. We want to do what everyone else does, or at least want to be accepted for what we do. So we need to kind of mold. We need to mold our consciousness and mold our life into the pattern of what's acceptable in society.
Yeah.
That's not always what's in my individual interest.
And the sad thing is we're kind of moving toward the end of the program, but now the children, I mean, that's the most impressionable age group,
Yeah.
all ages, and that's the youth, the children. And they're being so misled, you know. And they grow up with that kind of misdirection, and that's what you're gonna have, The youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's so important. I mean, I can remember in my own life, I had a very strong spiritual influence from my parents and from my family and from society in general when I grew up. But that was, as I say, that was a different world.
Mhm. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
long, long ago, but it still holds on today. You know, it had a lot to do with the direction I ultimately took, following this bhakti yoga teaching. I mean, it was nothing foreign to me. It was just, you know, more complete information, and, it filled in all kinds of gaps, and it was a definite practice, but the concept was the same,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And, but if you're completely foreign to all that, you don't have any of that in your developing years, no parents to guide you. I mean, all they do is, lead you astray by their own life's example, and, maybe verbally as well. Then, what can you expect?
Mm. Yeah.
So it's a big responsibility now. It's always, but now especially for
For parents,
people who have the knowledge
or
to
for,
present it, to let people understand there's another world.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And it's attractive. That doing that is attractive, and that's what you need to focus on. And that's what's finally, in the end, I guess, going to make it so that people do it. Like you said about the individual practice, having your time for meditation in every morning in solitude.
yeah.
That's really attractive.
And if somehow your daily schedule doesn't allow you to do it in the morning, do it in the afternoon. Do it sometime.
Yeah.
You know, if mornings don't work, that's absolutely the best time, no question. But if that doesn't work for you, doesn't mean you can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Within
Yeah.
a 24-hour period, you should arrange it.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's
And your life will be much, much, much better.
because that's always, yeah, I don't know. That's also another, pitfall. Just, oh no, I couldn't get up this morning early to do it. And then the day is wasted. And you just worry about that all day because you missed out the precious time. But no,
Oh,
but
there's
yeah,
all kinds of obstacles in the material world to
yeah,
make it so your spiritual journey is a bit difficult,
yeah.
you know, but doesn't mean you can't overcome those obstacles.
Mm, mm,
Uh, and if you really desire it, the Lord will give you the guidance, the strength, the power, the understanding, the determination. What does it say? God helps those who help themselves.
mm.
And that's certainly true. He knows us, every one of us. He knows what we want. He knows what we're trying to do. Yeah. He's right there.
And I guess, yeah, the world being such a crazy place, it's just a result of people not wanting that, not wanting God, not wanting Him in their life, and then He responds accordingly.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
You get what you want.
yeah.
Mhm.
I guess it's hard, maybe hard for someone to see how you would want such a chaotic society, but maybe maybe I'm just also, maybe someone is sitting there thinking this is a great society, like this artificial wombs is a great invention. It's going to make everything safer, and all the societal developments is most of them are good, and I just don't see how that's how anyone would think that. But
Yeah. I mean, right now they're promoting it as for people who can't have a child for some reason. They got,
yeah, right, right,
issues with their female organs or whatever. So they can't really bear the child anymore. They're promoting it like that, but you can understand where it can go very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh. So, yeah. So we're always, trying to encourage people to just do the simple thing.
Yeah.
Take that time, take that moment, series of moments, and use it for your spiritual well-being.
Yeah.
So never give up. Never give up. Don't think it's hopeless. That's not true. Our spiritual master said hopelessness is for those who don't know the Supreme Lord. And loneliness is also for those who don't know the Supreme Lord. You look at all these things, they're all kind of the same. Hopelessness, loneliness, depression. It's all basically just different names for the same condition, and that's, I don't know God. So I don't know anything. What do I know? If I don't know that, what do I know? Yeah.
Well, your illusory world that doesn't really satisfy us.
Yeah.
And all your temporary possessions.
Okay, Ruben. So let's end with a kirtan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Chaitanya Haribo. That's the simplest one that you could have, but it's magic in every way.
You're gonna do Chaitanya Haribol or Gauranga Haribol?
We're gonna do Chaitanya Haribol.
Oh wow!
And it could be that it'll be a little Gauranga Haribol too.
I don't mind. Perfect.
Chaitanya Haribol, Chaitanya Haribol, hey.
Chaitanya Haribol, Chaitanya Haribol,
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 Chaitanya Haribol, Chaitanya Haribol.
Chaitanya.
Cut off your mic.
Oh.
Chaitanya Haribol, Chaitanya Haribol. Gauranga Haribol. Gauranga Haribol, Gauranga Haribol. Chaitanya Haribol, Gauranga Haribol. Gauranga Haribo. Chaitanya Haribo. Gauranga Haribo. Chaitanya Hari Gauranga Haribo. Oh, Gauranga Haribo. Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Chaitanya Haribo. Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga Haribo. Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Chaitanya Haribo. Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga Haribo. Haribo. Gauranga Haribo. Haribo. Chaitanya Haribo. Chaitanya Haribo. Haribo.
Hello. There's my mic again.
Okay. That's all you can, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Just in that morning period we were referring to, or period during the day, whatever time it may be, you can just do this. That's a prayer. That's a sincere prayer. And it will have sincere results. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, like, well, yeah.
All right, Ruben. So until next time.
Yeah. Until next time. Thank you a lot. It's just so nice for me as well to have
all
these
those
reminders.
that may be,
Yeah.
yeah, all those who may be joining on podcast platforms or YouTube, you can share it with others.
Yeah. Yeah.
People share all kinds of things that shouldn't be shared. So you can share this with good conscience.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So thank you, Ruben, and we'll see you next time.
Yes. Thank you. Like, yeah. Thanks for taking your time.
We take our friends, the Chintamani singers.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good fun.
Ha det bra, vacker.
All right, all the best. Namaste, Haribol.
Namaste.